Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV. Like I mentioned in the last episode, we're going to just get started right off the launchpad and spend the entirety of this episode doing the mission. If you missed the last episode, that is where we built the rocket for this and we talked about what we're going to be doing for that. So go ahead and check out episode 11 if you want to catch that. But anyways, we're going to get started. I'm just going to take a quick second and mention that I'm very close to my next follower goal. And so if you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so if you're interested in Kerbal Space Program, IVA missions, or any of the other space games we do. But I'm not going to pester you all about that. Let's just go ahead and get started with today's mission. And here we are once again at the launchpad. Let's go ahead and jump in the cockpit. Let's get ourselves started. Let's turn on our communications. Let's turn on SAS to give ourselves a little control because we do not have launch clamps. Ground proximity warning. All the rest of the warnings, we're going to turn our altitude warning to 200. Give ourselves a little more clearance. Let's turn on our cameras. This will allow us to keep an eye on our ascent, and this is the biggest change in the cockpit. Does look a little bit different from the last episode, our last mod landing, and primarily it is the M.A.C.H addition to the DEIVA cockpit. So what this does is it offers a much more high-tech ability. So like as you see here, we have a map of Kerbin. Even though we didn't do the scan sat of Kerbin, we still have this information, and that is from this mod. We have launch information. We can use this to use M.A.C.H to auto launch, and we're going to do that right now. Actually, we're going to circularize at 115 kilometers at a launch inclination of 0 degrees. And let's go ahead and activate that. Go into our launch screen and get ourselves ready. But let's go into what's our co-pilot's name? Alt. That's who we are. So we are now in the Mach 1 lander can, also equipped with M.A.C.H. So as you see here, we have it's because we don't have any launch clamps, so our rocket is wobbling a little bit, but as you see here, we have a lot of information to be had, as well as our camera. So we'll put that up. Let's keep our log here. We'll keep an eye on comings and goings of what happens. Turn on our instrument lights and our communications. And there we go. That is all we need to do. Let's go ahead and hop back into Bob Long's control. I'm going to put that camera back where we had it. And we are clear for takeoff. Thank you, Mission Control. I'll keep that in mind. So that we have M.A.C.H Ascent Autopilot active. I don't need to do anything. Hopefully everything will take care of itself, and I'll see you at 115 kilometers orbit. And a clean separation of our first side boosters. And our apoapsis is now passing 70 kilometers, so we are going to enter space. Getting a little bit of heating on our craft, but nothing we can't handle. And our thrust comes to a halt as our apoapsis hits 115 kilometers. We are going to just gently coast our way up and circularize. And we are now in space, so we can tilt our way down. As you see, M.A.C.H already plotted in a maneuver for us. I haven't had to do anything this entire time. M.A.C.H is pretty easy. Well, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it makes launches very easy. I don't have a lot of experience in it, but I do like the fact that the MAS addition to the IVA is making it so easy. There we go. All we need to do is time warp our way up to the maneuver. I didn't even need to do that. Very handy. And our side boosters separate very cleanly, and they too will fall back to the planet. We also lost our fairing. No, neither of them can see it, but we also lost our fairing, so we are now open into space. And just like that, we come to a halt as we circularize close to the 115, but close enough. Excellent. So now it is time to let's look at our vessel view here. We're gonna need to make sure our action group is up correctly. Let's first let's armor scan stat. There we go. I wonder, can we get some science from this already? Yeah, we can. Not much, but good enough. So we'll transmit that and transmit that. Good to know. Didn't even do that in any of my tests, so good to know. We're going to go ahead and go into our lander action group as well and extend those solar panels. No reason not to. But then we're going to come back to our scan stat action group so we can control that when we need to. Okay. Excellent. So now we can come in here to this. It's a little bit easier on this one for me anyways. And we'll select Celestial, select the MUN. And then now we can go into Astrogator, plot in a maneuver, and now we have the maneuver point on the nav ball. Let's make sure our SAS is on, and let's point ourselves, lock in. We lucked out that it was so close to where we were already at. Okay, so our pilots aren't skilled enough for us to lock towards the maneuver, so we're gonna have to just hope that we don't stray from it as we go along. We have let's see, orbit, maneuver. Our node is in 14 minutes. It's only going to be a 31-second burn. We could do this manually, or we could have the option to do autopilot. So let us attempt for an autopilot. Warp to the maneuver. It'll take us around. Anything to see through the cameras? Nothing to see at all. I think we're actually on the dark side of the planet. So we'll just go by instruments alone. There we go, at 15 seconds, it burned perfectly on time. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Eldar, how you doing? Doing good. No panic. No joy either, but you know, no panic. It's good. All right. Boblog, how are you doing? A little bit of joy on takeoff. Pilots always love themselves a good ascent. Excellent. Okay, so let's check our position. It's a little unfortunate this screen position being so far away. Aldar, do you have a easier one to work with? Yes, you do. Okay. It's not giving me my closest approach information. It does have that relative distance, but that's not helpful. I would like a rendezvous screen, please and thank you. Well, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any way that I can do it without utilizing map mode. I was hoping that I could do it all without, but fortunately we'll plot in our mid-course correction here to bring us to a polar orbit, because that is how we are going to drop off our satellite, and because it will scan surface of the Mun. We'll also add to our communications as well as being able to be a relay. Oh, you know what? I just realized, first off, we don't need to bring this into a polar orbit. We don't have the ScanSat mods equipment attached to it. So, no need to be in a polar orbit because I'm not actually mapping anything. The science that we brought aboard is perfectly fine at an equatorial orbit, and this would be better for us because it'll be a little bit easier for us to choose better spot to land. Secondly, it's not going to function as a relay satellite because I actually took off the relay antennas in favor of the direct antenna to transmit the science, but I never put back on any relay antennas for it. So this mission is starting to come up sideways and not in a good way. So let us plot in a mid-course correction right there. Bring our periapsis down below 25 because that is what is necessary for the scanning. 0.1 second burn. Do we have the ability to limit our throttle? Eldar doesn't. Bob Long doesn't either. I had a terrible idea, but it might be kind of fun. Alald, because you, Curvin. Looking nice. But since you are the one with the convenient seat, well, I was gonna have him exit via free IVA mode, but sometimes there's a bug that doesn't allow you to do that. Okay, well, because of bug, I couldn't get my Kerbal out on EVA via getting up from my seat. Something with free IVA had some kind of bug or whatever, so we are going to do it the old-fashioned way, if I can remember, by doing mech jump. No. Crew? No. There we go. Under the target selection, I can crew EVA. And you know what? We're gonna get as much as I would love Bob Long to go out and get some EVA experience, we're gonna do Alald just because unfortunately he is the expendable one. So let's go ahead and let go of the craft. Float slowly backwards. Equip our RCS. Push ourselves backwards without bumping the craft. Alright, so I spent so much time trying to figure out how to get them on EVA that I didn't even get to talk about why I got them out on EVA. And that is because we've got a maneuver here that's going to be too short of a maneuver for our engine, as powerful as it is. As you see here, we're still on the launch vehicle. There we go. We need to calm this engine down. So let's aim at the walrus. Oh. There's all sorts of things we can do here, but turn down the engine thrust is not one. So unfortunately, fortunately that was for naught, but that was fun regardless. Let's head back up into the safety of our capsule and keep going to the Mun. Approaching floor. Your destination has arrived. Thank you. There we go. There's that free IVA. Woo. Yeah. Fun. Alright. Let's get back in our seat. Let's go ahead and let M.A.C.H execute the next node. As you can see here, we are now pointing towards our maneuver. We're gonna say goodbye to Kerbin. Beautiful. Whoa. There we go. I can bug has been fixed. I can now get back out of my seat. But we're gonna, of course, hop back in so that way we don't get pushed out. And it would seem that we are now time warping our way away from the planet. That's excellent. Love when everything comes together. Alright, let's hop back in Bob Long's seat to keep an eye on the actual pilot side of everything. Our node is about to happen, and we're just going to let M.A.C.H figure out the best way it can handle such a small burn, and apparently that was with 3% thrust. So that little spacewalk was unnecessary, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm not too bummed. Okay, now let us say goodbye to Kerbin. We can keep an eye on our approach here. Let's first let's make sure we have our solar panels out. Yes, we do. Okay. There we go. Alright, let's time warp our way out to the Mun and complete our mission. Let's say goodbye, Kerbin. And hello, Luna. Alright, so let's kill our time warp. Is there anything we can see from here? Oh, I didn't think we would be able to see it, but there it is. Sir, SAS not on. There we go. Let's hop out. Ah, that's beautiful. Bob Long, we're almost there. Alright, so let's go ahead and use M.A.C.H to circularize at the periapsis, and then we're also going to have it execute the node. So once again, we will be letting it handle our approach and our orbit. And sit back and enjoy the ride, because we're not going to use it for landing. I kind of don't know how to do it, and I also don't trust it. So even if I did know how to do it, I just don't trust it with landing. And so, at least for the time being, we will be landing manually. All right, so we're auto time warping our way there. We're going to be coming around the back side on the dark side of the Mun. $20,000. Interesting. And yeah, periapsis of 23,000 kilometers on both sides. Nice. And as we see here, we have a map that we can access and utilize in our landing approach. Even though it's not ScanSat, it'll still work. Okay. So first thing we need to do while we're here is do some science. So let's go ahead and hit Action Group 2. And this now gives us much more than it did on Kerbin. So 21 science for the multispectral analysis, 18 science for the orbital telescope. And if we look at our missions, well, that was not. Oh, maybe we need to transmit. Let's transmit the data. What kind of science is that giving us? 96. Nice. Alright, so this is still not, we did the orbital research, right? Let's see, experiments. No, I guess not. I guess we did run all the experiments, or at least it can't tell us. That's strange. I'll have to look into the parameters of this contract because I could have sworn we did. You know what? Aldar, time to make yourself useful once again. We are going to take a look at this satellite, at this scanning tech, and see if we can't turn it on manually. There we are. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves closer to it. Okay, perform orbital research. Must be in a stable polar orbit between 25 kilometers and 1,000. Okay, so, well, we now know that. And we are starting to drift a little bit far. We're getting a nice view, though. Beautiful. All right, let's get back aboard. All right. It's also a nice shot. All right, hop back in our seat, and we are going to, we have enough fuel in the ScanSat. We haven't used any of this fuel. We're already in orbit. Its communication is extended, and we have a probe control room already designated for it. So, oh, there we go. All right, so we are going to these are flipped, so we're going to do that. And jettison that. All right. Can we look up by any chance? Oh, we can on this one. Yes, we can on this one. All right. There we go. All right, we see the satellite drifting off ahead of us. Very low quality. Is there any way to boost that? Nope. Oh well. All right, so we got rid of our satellite. We'll put that into a polar orbit via the probe control room, probably in the next episode. I want to focus more on the landing now. I was hoping that I could just do the science, drop it off, and call it good for the mission, but apparently it's a little more complicated than that. So we are going to just push on forward and get ourselves landed. So now, all right, so we did use a little bit of food and water and, resources, whatnot, but we now are in a position where the location we want is now in daylight. Hopefully we can land on a relatively flat-ish area. This up here would be ideal, but not accessible from here. So let's make sure we're pointed retrograde. Cameras can't see anything because we're in the dead of night, but soon enough. And let's time warp our way until we're a little bit closer. So we're at the horizon line now. Can you see anything, Eldar? There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we want to land here-ish. Maybe we want to land as close to here as possible. I don't know, but either way, we're going to try it out. So let's turn our warnings back on, make sure we're pointed retrograde. Put ourselves into the landing position and fire up all the Delta V we can. Oh, but we do want to land there. We don't want to fire up so much that we kill off all of our horizontal. Shoot, we still have 70 though. So, let us point ourselves normal, I believe. Can we do that? Okay. Can't seem to hold normal, so we're gonna just hold on. I'm gonna check in with mission control and see which direction I need to go before we just start pointing all willy-nilly. Okay, we need to go normal. So let's try to flip this around quickly, because I want to use the last of this Delta V, because the thrust to weight is going to be radically different. Yeah, I see your 20,000. So let's throw it that way. Perfect. Let's fire that and stop that and point retrograde once again. Turn on our auto gear, so that will open when we hit 2,000, not 20,000. Alright, so hopefully we'll land in the center of that crater. Whew. Things are heating up now. Alright, our horizontal speed is atrocious, so let's go ahead and throw on our throttle. Try to bring that down a little bit. I wish I could zoom in on this a little bit more, but can't. Not that I know of anyways. No. Okay, our vertical speed isn't too great either. What's our Delta V like? Okay, we got 1,000 Delta V. We should be pretty good with that. Okay, let's do that for a second. Let's stop pointing retrograde. Let's point ourselves normal once again. Fire up. Try to get up that way a little bit. Alright. Point ourselves retrograde. What's our altitude? We're about 13 kilometers above the surface. We're actually gonna, kick off that. Oh, we need to be pointed surface. That will make a big difference. Alright, killing off all of our horizontal velocity now, so we'll be able to focus only on our vertical. There we go. Lock ourselves retrograde. Nice. 10,000 meters above the surface. Excellent. I think this is doable. All we have to do is kill off 100 meters per second, which isn't great. We don't have a great thrust to weight. Can we look at it anywhere here? No. 3.41. Alright, so it's not terrible. Alright, we can drop off at negative 20 meters per second. As our descent, we should be fine. Just visually speaking, it looks fairly rocky. What do you think, Eldar? How's it looking from there? Yep. Looking very rocky. But I do believe we are in the big crater. So, time to rejoice, but not to celebrate. 6.7 kilometers above the surface. Only 720 meters per second remaining. All right, that's a calm speed. We can work our way down. I think we can manage this as long as our slope angle doesn't get too ridiculous. This is it, Bob Long. It's all on you. Alright, we got this. You got this. Alright, the lights are coming on. We're close enough. Watching our vertical speed. We're holding steady. Holding steady. Remembering we have collisions. And contact. Yes, we are once again on the mun, everybody. Whew. Yeah, it looks like we landed in a pretty clear area. Not a lot of rocks to be seen. Alright, so let's go ahead and lock our stage for now. Can we kill our engine from here? Our stage is locked, but can we kill our engine? Does not look like it. Okay. Nonetheless, let us stretch our legs and get Bob Long out first, because we do need to get a flag planted as part of our mission. Ooh, okay. Ooh, he is not too familiar with the RCS pack. Anyways. Look at that. Jewel and Moho. I can't wait till we go interplanetary. We're going to be getting onto that soon. Next stop is going to be Mid-Miss, obviously. But once we get there, Mid-miss abound. Interstellar next. There we go. Oops. See if we can see the MUN flag. There we are. Let's get a nice picture for the newspapers back home. Kerbin available? No. All right. So Bob Long's duties are done. He can go ahead and head back into the cockpit, get comfortable, and get ready for Eldar to say that they're done with their job. Nice. Actually, we still need to do... we need to get our action group on the right set. We need to do our science. Oh, we're getting knocked around by the hammer. That's funny. Okay, so seismic data. Oh, yeah. So we're in the northwest crater. Excellent. So that is new data. We can get a few things. So that's good. Target scanning, 32. Mystery goo is 40 once we collect it and bring it home. 24 for the laser scan, and that seems to be it. But we can also, if we go here to science, the experiment, we can run a crew report. And so that's for 20 science. And apparently that's it. I thought we could do more than that. Guess not. Alright, so let's go ahead and unbuckle ourselves. Head out to the surface. Oops, didn't mean to jump. Nobody's good with jetpacks or ladders. Such a pretty craft. You know, I think I did well for a tall, not wide lander. Anyways, Eldar has important duties to perform, and that is to collect the science. Oh, whoops. We didn't need to do that. I guess it'll give us the option of holding it. Or is this the one that didn't? Alright, so we'll hold that. Let's do our surface science. Let's take a surface sample. Let's take an EVA report. Let's do our EVA science. I can't see very well, but I guess we're golfing. I wish, if only there was a way to kind of better track your head through the helmet, and that'd be very fun to see. First person golfing, if Kerbal's golfing. Oh, I guess we already did the EVA for that. Alright, well. Alright, took the jetpack off us as soon as we landed. So at the last moment, before we launched, I just cut this out of the footage, but I decided to actually tack on those storage compartments. And we are going to place what we can place, even though we don't have, excuse me, even if we don't have the communitrons to transmit it, we can always add those later. Come on, stay. Stay! Ah. Whatever. That's where it will be. Alright, let's just get the rest of the stuff. Oh, I think I might need my jetpack back. Not jetpack, RCS pack. Alright, let's place this. This one's my favorite. I like the camera that looks at the goo. Just imagining there's a live feed somewhere back on Kerbin where someone's job or several people's job it is just to monitor that goo at all times. Like it. And with that, I believe we have the last bits of our ground station put down. We can get ourselves prepped and ready to head home. Alright, so with nothing left to do, we're going to unlock our stage. We're going to launch ourselves into the air and we're going to decouple from our lower stage. We're going to utilize some of this fuel to get up and then let this crash back down to the surface. And so yeah, so let's make sure our SAS is on and throttle up. We're going to point ourselves westward for hopefully a better return trajectory.
200, 300, 400, 500.
We're just gonna point ourselves up and up and up until we escape the atmosphere. Or the sphere of influence, I should say, no atmosphere. Can raise our landing gear and out of fuel there, so let's stage that and fire our secondary engine. We now weigh significantly less, so we'll have more oomph for our Delta V. And there are probably more efficient ways of heading back home. In fact, there is a way to M.A.C.H at Lunar Return, but I like this kind of just throw ourselves back into the orbit of Kerbin, and we are going to go for a fairly steep re-entry, because we're just going to bring this on home. Did I collect all of the science? I don't think I did. Yep, we just discarded a whole chunk of science on the surface of the Mun. That was very unfortunate. Oh no. We didn't grab the mystery goo, we didn't grab the target scanning thing, we didn't grab the laser. Shoot. Oh well, nothing we can do now. We will have to just send a rover, and that was the plan for an upcoming episode. I may actually forego that. We may say goodbye to the Mun for now, because we're starting to get fewer and fewer biomes and less science. So it may be a good idea to just start pursuing Minmus. So we're going to say goodbye to the Mun for now, once again. We are going to visit it back in the next episode to just adjust the orbit of that scan satellite and put that in a polar orbit so we can at least get a scan sat of the Mun. It does have quite a bit of fuel in it, so maybe we can see if we can dual purpose it and send it to Minmus as well, but we shall see. Alright, so we are now leaving the sphere of influence of the Mun. We have re-entered the sphere of influence of Kerbin. Excellent. So let us see if we can utilize M.A.C.H once again. So let's go into orbit. Let's plan a maneuver to change our periapsis to 40 kilometers. 42 kilometers. Alright. Let's see how this does. Let's hit auto. No, that's not doing it. Let's hit create. There we go. Let's hit auto. That is not doing that, so let's go ahead into this one and hit execute next node. Alright, so that's taking care of it. Alright, so now it seems to be taking care of time warp, and we will be on our way home shortly. Let's take a look at our supplies. Alright, we are still doing good as long as we don't have any incidents with damages, because we do not have any repair kits nor engineers, so just have to take it easy. There we go. Excellent. Periapsis of 42.2, excuse me. So, I think we're going to SAS point ourselves retrograde. I'm going to change this over to the camera. We'll see. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's time warp our way closer to the surface. And then once we get within visual range of Kerbin, we'll probably jettison. Oh, we went right on by. Okay, too much time warp. Whew, that could have been bad. We went clear through the atmosphere without ever letting the game take notice. Alright, so we're at 10,000 time warp. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Whew, okay, so let's just kill our time warp entirely so we can get ourselves pointed retrograde. And what we're going to do is we're going to burn... you know what? I was thinking about using the rest of this delta V to lower our apoapsis here, but we did in our test flight, we came in at roughly the same altitude. So I think what we're gonna do instead is we are going to just go ahead and trust the test flight. Ooh, that's not looking good. Ooh, there you go. I guess it didn't want to separate. Oh, because of that ladder. That was a last minute design choice, so yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad we did. That may be a danger when we go down, but we shall see. So we are pointed retrograde. And we are going to come in relatively soon. There we are. Ooh, unfortunately, it does look like we'll be coming in on the dark side. But there we go. We utilized quite a bit of our resources, but thankfully not to the point that we are in any danger. Okay, but we are coming in very hot. Very fast. Okay, what was that? What was that? I think that's just a ground proximity warning. Our internal temperature seems to be pretty good. Going through some pretty heavy atmosphere. Can I see anything? I can't see anything here. Oh, okay. Aldar's seeing it. Oh, Aldar's pod temperature is gaining pretty high. You know what? Let's go in for a spin maneuver. Bring that down a little bit. Yep, you see, by spinning, we reduce the surface, or we just dissipate the heat across the whole thing and don't let it build up to one particular spot. Alright, so we are past our periapsis, heading back up into the vacuum of space. We are no longer, our heating effect slowing down considerably, and our pod isn't nearly as hot. Alright, so we can stop spinning, hop back into this. Oh. Was it? Oh, we never brought in our solar panels. That's what that sound was. Just goes to show you gotta practice a little bit more before coming in after a whole month away. All right, once more around the bend we go. All right, let's check our resources. Electrical charge. Oh, 68%. Okay, we've got plenty. I am not concerned. All right, let's go one more time. This should be the one that takes us in. Put our ground proximity on. Let us know when we indeed are on impact. On an impact course. Yep, coming in at night. Unfortunate. There we go. I think Eldar will have the best view coming down. Alright. Heat has disappeared 20,000 meters above the surface. 20,000 kilometers. 20,000 meters above the surface. Let's switch back here. I don't know what would be best for our parachute. Ooh. Guess it's a stormin'. Okay, so landing, final descent. Let's arm our chute. Ooh, yep, there's a lightning over there. Alright, our horizontal speed is coming down significantly. I don't know if it's safe enough to deploy our chute, and we only have the one.
5,000. 4,000.
Alright, let's deploy our chute.
3,000.
Okay, it's deployed. Cool. We'll switch back into
500.
his view.
2,000.
Turn on whatever lights we can.
1,500.
We can see our parachute there. Oh, please open.
500. 400.
Oh, that was scary.
300.
Okay, alright, are we landing? Okay, so we're landing at only -5 meters per second. Alright, so we are pretty safe, I feel. That is the proximity warning. Let us know we are close.
100.
Wonder where we are. Oh, we'll be able to look in a second.
50. 25. 20.
And
10.
there we go. Touchdown safely once again on Kerbin, everybody. We have successfully brought our 2 Kerbals back from the mud. Let's see, where are we? How close to daylight are we? Yep, the sun just set, that's right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna bring our Kerbals home right now because, don't want to risk anything happening with their, life support. Fortunately, we don't get to see where we are at, with our own eyes, but that is okay. Should have packed more lights on us. Next time we will definitely need to do that, because even if we're coming back here at night, we could have at least gotten a little bit of a visual of what was going on around us. So there's that. We live and we learn. Wonderful. But yeah, so I'm going to recall these home, and then we will say goodbye to the episode. Alright, 177 science from that. So even though we left so much back and destroyed it on the surface of the mud, we still brought home the surface sample, which was the majority of that. And, some crew reports and stuff. So all in all, that was pretty good. But better than that, both Boblong and Alad got a 1 star, so they'll be a little more effective going forward. Yeah, so in the next episode, like I mentioned, we are going to fix the orbit of that satellite so it can satisfy this contract. And we may actually create this because I believe we have the ability of making the science lab. So we may launch this and do a two-parter with bringing it to the MUN as well as maybe sending it over to MINMIS. Once we get our flyby and get our program started over at MINMIS, we may do that. We should also probably clear out some of these not cheating the game, but cheating the investors. You know, we promised them we would test their engines, and we've just not. But we'll do that at some point. Maybe we'll do that off camera and get that done with. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to make some big steps in the next episodes. I think in the same episode, I also want to drop a rover down on the surface of the MUN with the Bon Voyage mod, and then have it pick up some residual science and transmit it back as well. So we'll probably be doing both that and the satellite in the next episode. So I hope you're looking forward for it. But yeah, anyways, that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did, please consider subscribing. Drop me a like. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.